So quick, easy. This is a busy time of year. Spring is all those spring sports, a lot going on. We're also trying to, I think, a lot of us eat a little more healthy, and the way to go is a stir fry. Seriously, you can get these on the table in like 10 to 15 minutes or less, way cheaper than going out for a Chinese, a lot of great flavor, and you can use a lot of those wonderful fresh spring vegetables. I thought we'd do something different, and instead of beef and chicken, do a pork stir fry. And again, this is super duper simple, and you can kind of take this method and turn it into your own, but I'm going to do stir fry 101, give you some tips and tricks to doing it. Went to a festival and got a wonderful pork tenderloin. And it's fun to sometimes try some of the different marinated pork tenderloins too. They do a Door County cherry pork tenderloin, which is really delicious. And then I like to, when I'm doing a stir fry, I like to get the pieces very, very thin. And one of the ways, tips and tricks to do that is throw this into the freezer, this tenderloin, for maybe 15, 20 minutes, a half hour, and watch, you're going to see how easy it is to slice up if it's just a tad frozen and get it into real thin pieces. Tenderloin is so lean, pork tenderloin is. My kids love it, and it's something a little different. Especially, it's been a long winter, a lot of pot roasts in my family. Just did the whole corned beef and cabbage thing for St. Patty's Day. We eat a ton of chicken, so it seems like whenever I do pork, and you see how it's a little bit frozen here, and I just really can get nice, almost like paper thin strips. Which when you go out for Chinese food, you notice that they're such tiny thin pieces, and that way they cook really nicely and they get nice and brown quickly. So I'm just going to slice this up. We don't need to use the whole thing. So we'll stop about there. Get some oil, and if you have a wok, fantastic. If you don't, just a nice big skillet. And the tip and tricks to doing stir fries, I do things in batches. First, I start with the meat, and then I start adding the rest of the stuff. So I want to get that oil nice and hot, which is going to take a second or so. And I do like a test piece. Yeah, that's the sound I want. Take that pork very thinly. It's almost paper thin sliced because it was so easy to do that, throwing it in the freezer. And I'm going to spread that out over the pan so that that pork is going to get some nice color and give the whole dish some nice flavor. So when, I didn't think to do something in the slow cooker, or I just didn't, have time to do a casserole, stir fries are just a great way to go. And they're a great way to use up some of those vegetables that you've got in your fridge that need using. If you've got a carrot, maybe a half of a pepper, some onion, some celery. Just a great way to use that stuff. Okay. Get one more piece in here, but I don't want to overcrowd the pan. Now I'm going to get to work on some of the veggies and the sauce. I'm using, I just want to wash my knife, a red pepper. I love red pepper. So good for you, and it's great color, and it's going to give this stir fry some nice color. So maybe about a half of a red pepper. I'm just going to do it in nice thin strips. And you can always go to the salad bar and pick up some different veggies for a stir fry there if you don't want to hassle with chopping things up. They also have fresh veggies already done right there for you. So you don't have to, if you really want to cheat, and that's okay in my book, you can just make it real easy and pick up the stir fry veggies already done for you, the assorted veggies. Got some asparagus, which is lovely this time of year, and it's so fresh and spring-like that I love using it. A little bit of scallion, green onion, but again, this is just a method. You can kind of use what you have. Just want to give that pork a flip. Wait just a minute longer. You just want to use what you have in your house. The one thing I don't like to use with stir fry is already cooked vegetables because I really like the veggies in a stir fry to be tender, crisp, and not mushy. I think that's the key to a good stir fry. The other key to a good stir fry is a nice sauce. So I'm going to make a sauce right now. Just a quick, easy sauce with, again, stuff that you already have on hand, probably in your pantry. 1/4 cup of soy sauce, so you don't have to buy a bottle of stir fry sauce. You can just make it yourself. 1/4 cup of water. A couple tablespoons of honey, which is going to sweeten this up a little bit. So it'll have the sweet and the salty going on. Some sherry. Now this is something, again, that I normally have this for cooking in my liquor cabinet. It's got the screw off top that Ann's going to help me open because it's stuck on there. One of the guys around. But if you don't have that, or you don't, thank you, Ann, want to use sherry, chicken stock would also work. So 1/4 cup of that. I'm just going to eyeball it. So soy sauce, water, chicken stock, a little bit of honey. Just want to see this pork is getting some nice color. I'm going to move it around here. We're always looking for great spring recipes, so please, if you have any, go to our website and share. We love hearing from you. Email us. Next week, we've got all sorts of fun ideas and new shows for Easter, so if you're looking for some great Easter recipes, we've got them for you next week. So this pork just takes, really, because it was so thin, seconds to cook. And then I'm going to get it out of the pan. When I get back to my sauce here, a little bit of cornstarch. This is going to thicken it up a little bit. So that's, I mean, easy breezy to make your own stir-fry sauce. Sometimes I'll throw a little, just a teaspoon or so of sesame oil, which gives it a great nutty flavor. But if you've got soy sauce and a little bit of honey, you're really in business. You don't need much more than that for a great stir-fry sauce. Now, a lot of times I'll then take the meat out of the pan, in this case the pork, get it onto a plate, and then I'll get to work on the vegetables. So we're really cooking in batches, and if you ever watch them at the Chinese restaurants, you'll see that they're moving things around a lot. They've got a lot of pans working, and we're going to do the same thing. So a little more of that oil. And there's some great pan drippings in there from that pork, which is going to give it great flavor. Now in goes our red pepper. Our asparagus. Some of the onion. We'll save a little bit for garnish. And I'm going to get that going now and just kind of keep it moving. It's going to be nice, bright, and colorful. I'm going to add some fresh garlic. Jarred garlic would work fine too. We always have fresh garlic around here. I'm just going to give that a quick chop, get that in with our veggies. And then, boy, there's nothing like fresh ginger. Really will take a stir fry to a whole nother level. You can buy it in the jar if you'd like, and I've shown you that before. We have a jar of it in our fridge. We have some in here, Ann? Yep. So you can cheat, and again, just have it right in the jar in your refrigerator, and it really will pump up the flavor. Or if you buy the fresh ginger, I just give it a little bit of a peel. Take a microplane and it smells so good. Or a box cheese grater. And grate some of that fresh ginger flavor right in there. Love fresh ginger. So we're almost to the finish line. I told you that was quick. Back in goes our pork and any juices that have accumulated on that plate. We take our sauce. So the sauce goes in at the very end. We went ahead and steamed up some rice. Brown rice would keep this extra healthy. And you can already see that sauce, because of that little bit of cornstarch in there, is starting to thicken up. And we are done. It looks and smells fantastic. Nice light spring dinner. We did this and I chopped up the meat and everything. You saw me do it all live on the air. Started the show at 9. It's now 9:12 and dinner's done. A few toasted sesame seeds on top. Buy these already toasted, or you can toast them yourself. That's optional, maybe a few onions just to decorate, and there you go. Pork and asparagus stir fry, a nice light dinner, and quick and easy for spring. Recipes on the website. You can also pick it up at any area Festival Foods. Lots more fun ideas to jazz up your life coming up, so stay with us.